And welcome back. We're continuing the adventure of the little mouse and the fox. Vertelgia, on the surface, Vertelgia doesn't seem to have a direct correlation or parallel to English. And this is where, as I stated in the previous videos, break the syllables up into separate components. Verteld, yeah, teld, teld. Well, in English, teld isn't the proper past tense. Told. Adventuren, Aventuren, Aventuren met zijn broodjes en zuzies. Aventuren, Adventuren, Aventuren, Aventuren, Adventuren, Adventuren, journey, broodjes. This isn't exactly a parallel, but when dealing with certain things, you can maybe not intuitively, but by process of elimination, you can recognize patterns. And that is, in this case, it is the bro, which is the slang term for brother, bro, brother, bro, yes, and sis, bro and sis are slang terms for brother and sister, broyes and zuzies, bro and sis, brother and sister. Maybe it's a stretch, but again, I'm not claiming this is an intuitive association as much as it is a deduction based off of the context of what you're reading. Eindelijk na een lange zoektocht hoorden ze Kulak in Kublaf. Eindelijk, eindelijk. And this one also is a bit of a stretch. But again, after you see it, maybe it connects from here on out. Eindelijk, eindelijk, eindelijk. So delight, Ali, finally, find alike, eindelijk, finally. As I said, perhaps it's a bit of a stretch for you, but keep it in mind in the future when you come across this word and see if that continues to keep with the tone, with the message, the theme. Eindelijk, after a lange, long, lying, long, long. Yeah, so after a long search, we've already covered zook talk for search, zook talk, search, they heard, hearden, we've already covered heard, laughter and barking. So finally, after a long search, they heard laughter and barking. Eindelijk, after a lange. And finally, we come to, or eindelijk, we come to the conclusion of the story. Het was de familie van Vosje. Ze waren aan het spelen in een open veld. At this point, it should become very clear the similarities to English. We've already covered het as being similar to it in pronunciation and in use, as well as it can sometimes be an anagram for the. So in this case, if you read the sentence and you read it as the was the family or it was the family, which one is the one that makes sense? So go with the one that makes contextual sense. It was the family van, and again, van is similar to all these other languages where they use de or o. Van is just of. It's just a, you know, when somebody says their name is Van Smith, of Smith, the similar as de Smith, you know, at least that's how it works for me. Maybe that's not accurate, but that's just something that I picked up a long time ago and usually apply when I see a name, for example. And in this case, it was de family van Vosje. It was the family of Fox. Ze waren aan het spelen. We already know they and they are similar. Waren, this one isn't so intuitive because, a Warren, in English isn't what's represented in this word, at least not that I'm aware of. But if you change the A to an E and drop the N, you get were. So they were. So they waren aan het spelen. Again, spelen. If you drop the S and you put spelen, you still don't see it quite the same as playing. So don't, if somebody has a linguistic trick that why it connects, I'm open to hearing it. But, this sentence does, would make it a bit more complicated, but it's the conclusion of this sentence where you might be able to start, oh, okay. In an open veld. So they waren, they were in, in an open veld playing. So, open in Dutch is a little bit different in its pronunciation. Open, very similar, but not just enough different where you might not pick up on it until you become more familiar. And veld, again, touching on, the comparison with vive, veld, failed. The heavy T sound and the heavy D sound being, at first something you don't intuitively know, but as you become more experienced with it, you recognize it. So that concludes the translation and word similarity of the story of the little mouse and fox. Let me know what you think of this, and if you have any suggestions and any other words that you find similar and how it worked for you. And if it works for me, as I said in the previous video, I will incorporate it in an updated video. Good luck. Hope you enjoyed the story.